Hello, welcome to Clark Technologies. In our previous video, we have seen couple of topics of this video series, like what is HTTP, what is HTTPS, and what are the other things. So in this video, let's continue the flow from there. So let's continue from what are the different types of encryption and what is the one-way SSL, two-way SSL, and what is the history of SSL, like this. Okay, so let's get started. But before that, if you are visiting our channel for the first time, please subscribe, like, and share our channel, and please support us. Then please visit our first video of this first part of this video series, so that you will get a complete flow end to end. Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's see what is symmetric encryption. Symmetric encryption means we are going to encrypt and decrypt the message by using only one key. So there is no public key or private key. Here we can call it as symmetric key, only one key, which is used to encrypt the message, and the same key we need to decrypt the message. I mean, by using the same key, we need to decrypt the message. By using any other key, we cannot decrypt the message and read the message. Only one key is there in symmetric encryption. Let's say, for example, you can assume it like putting a message in a box and lock it with a key and send it. Then the key should be kept private. Okay, you have two copies of these keys, one key with the receiver, one key with the one copy is with the receiver, one copy with the sender. So sender can lock this message into a box by using his key, and once the box is received by the receiver, then she or he can open that box by using the copy of the same key. You can assume in that way. Okay, so but we cannot share this key over public. But in digital world, the key is nothing but the message or some password, right? So you cannot share that copy of the password over internet as a plain text or direct message. You need to secure that key also and then share it. Okay, which is nothing but only one key. So what is the disadvantage of this symmetric key means, so anyone can open that box if they know the key, because the key is public, right? Anyone can it is the same key which is used to encrypt and decrypt the message. If someone steal that key information from sender or receiver, they anyone can open that box and anyone can read the message and anyone can access the message. So that is the main disadvantage of this symmetric encryption. But it is very fast compared to the another type. It is very fast because the ciphertext is same size as the plain text. Let's say if your message is hello, hello, 5 letters. Okay, and your decrypted message also, I mean encrypted message also having only 5 letters in the another way or another format, but the letter size is 5. So which is very faster than compared to the another method of encryption, which is asymmetric. But the main disadvantage is it is having only one key. So anyone, if by mistake or by accidentally know the key information, anyone can use it, anyone can misuse it. So we should be very careful to share this key distributed to the intended recipients. Okay. For example, in earlier days, nowadays ATM card pin setup is also by using ATM machines we can do it. But earlier days, what they can do is like they can first, I mean any bank, they can distribute the ATM card first. They can deliver the ATM card first. So once the receiver, I mean let's say if you have applied for any debit card, you will get the debit card in a parcel first. So once you receive that debit card, then they can share the default ATM pin in another pocket, another parcel or another courier. So they cannot send it together, because if by mistakenly if anyone receive that ATM card instead of you, if pin is also there in the same parcel, they can happily use the debit card by using that pin. So that is why bank is sending ATM card first, then pin they can send in a separate courier. So that was happened earlier days to make the secure way. But nowadays we can set the pin everything by using ATM machines or internet banking. That is a different story. So that is one example you can correlate to. Okay. So if you can see the same example by using the symmetric algorithm, I mean symmetric encryption. See, this is the sender. This is the encrypted key. The let's say it's yellow key, symmetric key. So over the HTTPS network, before sending the message, this sender encrypt this message by using this yellow key, and the same key, copy of the same key is available with the receiver. So once this sender encrypt this message by using this key in this format and send it over the internet, once the receiver receive the encrypted message, he can decrypt the message by using the same yellow key. Okay, so that they can access the actual message, and they can access that message and use it. So this is called symmetric encryption. Then what is asymmetric encryption? Here story comes, the public key and private key story will comes here. See, one public key and one private key is there, and they are paired and work together. It means like one set of public and private key is there for one user. Say for example, in our Rama Sita example, if Rama is encrypted any message with his public key, that is not decrypted by Sita private key. Okay, because Rama public key, Rama private key is one pair. Sita public key and Sita's private key is one pair. So those that particular public key and private key are mapped to one another. So any other person public key cannot be used to decrypt any other person's private key. So one pair should work together. Okay, they are paired and they are work together. So share your public key to anyone and encrypt a message with the public key while transferring. Only the person who has the right private key can open the box and read the message or decrypt the message. So no other person in the world can access the message until they are the intended recipient, which they have the right private key. Okay, it is also validate the identity because the owner of the two keys, the owner of the say key pair, the public and private key pair, can only access the message. So this will show the identity, validate the identity of the person also. It is slower than the symmetric encryption because we have large number of key sizes in asymmetric public private keys. Okay, and the cybertext encrypted key also very large compared to the another one, symmetric one. So here it is. See, so sender sends, first thing before they exchange the communication, they will first share the public key to one another. This receiver, this blue key is shared to the sender, and this purple key also shared to the receiver first. That is the first step, you can assume. So if sender this person want to send a message to this receiver, he need to encrypt the message by using that person public key, not his public key. The sender should encrypt the message by using this public key and send the message to the receiver, so that once the receiver receive the message, he can decrypt his private key. He can decrypt the message by using his private key, because these two are the pair. These two are the another pair. If you can encrypt any message by using this public key, this receiver cannot decrypt by using this private key, because these two are not the pair, key pair. Got it? This public key, private key is one pair. This public key and private key is one pair. So anyone can encrypt the message by using this public key, which is only decrypted by this private key, not the any other private key. So sender send a message over internet to the receiver by using his public key and sent it, so that once the receiver receive the message, they can decrypt the message by using his own private key. In the same way, if receiver want to send a message to sender, receiver need to encrypt the message by using sender public key, because these are the public keys, they can share one another before establishing the conversation, because receiver know the sender public key also. So if the receiver want to send any message as a reply to the sender, he need to encrypt the message by using his public key and send it over the internet. So sender once receive the message or a reply from the receiver, he can decrypt his own private key. He can decrypt the message by using his own private key, and he can read the message. Okay, don't get confused, and just try to understand the concept. This is the public key, private key. This is one pair, this is one pair, and public key can be shared to anyone. So that is why he knows his public key, he knows his public key, but his private key is only available to the sender. Receiver public key is only available for receiver. So no one knows what are the private keys of these two persons, but public key is available for everyone. So that is why this public key, if any message encrypted with this public key, can be decrypted only with this private key. In vice versa also, like you can encrypt any message by using this private key and send it to receiver. Okay, and as this sender public key is available for receiver, he can decrypt the message by using this public key. So you can encrypt or decrypt any message by using public key, you can encrypt or decrypt any message by using private key, but these two keys should be paired. That is called asymmetric encryption. So we have different algorithms for this asymmetric encryption and symmetric encryption. These are the different ones. For asymmetric algorithm, you have RSA, DSA, ECDSA something. For symmetric algorithms, you have AES, DES, BGP, and Blowfish, and everything, and few other algorithms also there. Okay, so that is called that is about encryption part. Now we will see what is SSL and what is TLS. So before getting into SSL and TLS, you need to first understand what is SSL handshake. So let's discuss this first. So when any browser hits any website, a request will be sent to the server where the site is hosted, which means if you are going to request if you are going to hit the google.com from this browser. Okay, first you need to enter the google.com and hit that enter button, then a request will be sent to the server where it is hosted, which means where the google.com website is hosted, for that server the request is sent. So they both can establish a secure connection to transmit the message. So that google.com and this chrome will establish a secure connection to transfer messages from between them. Okay, so first they need to agree on how they need to communicate securely. First they need to agree with one another. So first they need to agree on how to communicate securely. Then they can transfer the secured information. If they are not agree with each other, then they cannot establish any secured communication. They cannot transfer the message between them. Okay, so first they need to agree how to communicate securely. Okay, so then the browser shows, if they don't agree with each other, then the browser shows error or warning message. Okay, if like just like that we which we have access to some other test.com, right? So anything which is not available. Oh, yes.com is there. Okay, so let's take the same text.com. See here, if you can see this test.com, which is not valid one, right? So this is, I mean, your browser, your Chrome is not agreed to communicate with this test.com website securely. That is why it is showing error message, your connection is not secure. So like that, in SSL handshake also, if they don't agree with each other, they can show any browser will show error or warning message. If it is successful, then it will show the lock message. If it is successful for this google.com, that is why it is showing lock message. The secure communication is not agreed between this test.com, so that is why it is showing error message. So likewise you can validate which is secured websites or which are unsecured websites. Okay, so this negotiation between this browser and server is nothing but handshake. Okay, so let's see the steps. This is the sender, this is the receiver. So first the sender will send a message, hello, I will send a list of SSL versions and encryption algorithms and we will wait for an answer from you. Okay, so once this browser hit the google.com or any other website, once they click on click on enter, what internally it happens is the browser, here in our case the client is nothing but browser, this is google.com, let's assume. So once the browser hit enter, it is showing, it will send like in background it will send SSL or TLS versions and encryption algorithms to google.com and it will wait answer from google.com. So once the google.com receive the message, it will reply like, I choose the best SSL TLS version algorithm and encryption algorithm from your list, and here is my certificate including my public key, you can verify it, who am I. So once you hit enter, internally your browser will send SSL TLS versions and encryption to google.com. Google.com will select any familiar SSL or TLS version encryption algorithm and google.com will send that public certificate to browser, public key and the certificate to browser. Then your browser will validate that. Then your browser, in this case client, your in this case the client or browser, check the certificate and make sure that google.com is the valid website. And then browser will generate one shared secret key, pre-master key or shared secret key, anything, both are same. So it will generate a new key and send it to the google.com, and the browser will encrypt this secret key with public key of google.com, because earlier in step 2 google.com also, I mean it's already shared google.com public key with the browser. So here browser will generate a new secret key and encrypt that secret key with the google.com public key and send it to the google.com server. Now what will happen? Then google.com has its public key and private key, both set, key pair is there with google.com, right? So the browser encrypt the shared key and send it to the google.com. What happens? Google.com will decrypt the shared key by using google.com private key, and now google.com also has the pre-master key or shared secret key. Browser generates the pre-master key, so browser has one copy of pre-master key. It's sent to the google.com. Google.com decrypt that and it has received the actual pre-master key. So now both sender and receiver both has the same secret key. No other person in the world know that key. Only this browser, only this google.com server will have this pre-master key. So now they can establish the communication. Till now, till this point 5, they didn't share any information from browser to google.com or google.com to the browser. Now once they agree on this shared secret key, now the symmetric algorithm will come into picture. So till here there is asymmetric algorithm. Now the symmetric algorithm will come into the picture. Now they can encrypt any message or decrypt any message by using this pre-master key between them. So now browser if send any message like to the google, if browser send any search message and click on enter, this message will go to the google.com in a secured way by using this shared by encrypting by using this shared key. So they used asymmetric keys like public and private key to encrypt and decrypt the pre-master key. Pre-master key is nothing but the shared secret key. Both are same. So that no one can hack that key. Now they can use that pre-master key or shared secret key to secure the communication between the sender and receiver. Now they won't use private key and public key because that is very slow, as we discussed earlier. Symmetric key algorithm is the fast one. Symmetric encryption is the fast one. So they can use that pre-master key because they both have the same copy of pre-master key and no one in the world have that. So they can now happily encrypt or decrypt any message between them by using that shared secret key. Then they can continue the secured session. So that is nothing but handshake, SSL handshake. And this is also called as one-way SSL as well. In one-way SSL also, this is the same process. It will happen, and we will see in detail later. So now coming to the SSL or TLS. So what is SSL? What is TLS? Both are same or both are different versions or both are different protocols? No. SSL, TLS both are same. The another name for SSL is nothing but TLS. Don't confuse. But these two names are used interchangeably. Someone called it as SSL, someone called it as TLS, because here is the confusion happens. We will see that confusion. But in general, in reality, SSL, TLS both are same. TLS is the new name, SSL is the old name. Just remember in that way. So whenever they invented SSL in the very first, they have launched the version 2 in 1995 by using Netscape. I mean, Netscape launched that version, SSL version 2, launched by Netscape in 1995, which is the first secured version of browser or this HTTPS protocol. So what is SSL means? SSL means Secured Sockets Layer. Okay, this is protocol created by Netscape. Then version 3 is also launched by Netscape. Later on, Netscape gave this SSL protocol to another party, another company, if you can assume it like another company, which is IETF, Internet Engineering Task Force. There the confusion starts. Okay, till version 3, the name is SSL. Once it is hand over to the IETF team, then they have do some modifications or something. Around the end of the 1999, they have launched TLS version 1.0, which is nothing but SSL 3.1 version, because till SSL 3.0, the protocol is under control of Netscape. They have named it as SSL 3.0. Then now this IETF team added some more functionalities and some more security features. They have launched TLS version 1.0. TLS is new name. They have named it as the TLS, and for this name it is first version. So TLS 1.0, but which is actually SSL version of 3.1. So don't get confused. SSL TLS both are same. TLS is the new name named by IETF. SSL is the old name named by the Netscape. Both are the same protocol. Okay, so what is TLS means? Transport layer security, and the version 1.1 version 1.0 was released on 1999, right? So TLS 1.1 is released on 2006. TLS 1.2 is released to not 2008. 1.3 is released on 2018. Now some browsers supports TLS 1.2 version, 1.3 version as well. And then SSL 3.0 was deprecated in 2015. So this is spelling mistake dedicated. It is deprecated. SSL 3.0 was deprecated in 2000. So now let's discuss what is the one-way SSL and what is two-way SSL. But before that, we need to learn what is key store, what is trust store, in order to configure the same in MuleSoft application. Okay. So first let's discuss what is key store and trust store. Then we will come to one-way SSL and two-way SSL, followed by MuleSoft demo. Okay. So what is key store? What is trust store? We have already learnt about what are the private keys, public keys, and CA certificate, authority certificates, and all, right. So the combination of all these things is nothing but key store and trust store. So key store will contains only key store contains private keys and public keys. All the key information key store will contain. A trust store will contain only public key as well as the certificate of the other side. It doesn't contain any private keys. Okay, and these are the two different files. It will be saved with the extension of .p12 files or .jks files. Okay, so key store is key store name .jks. It has public and private key information. Primarily it is having only private key information, the primary thing about key store. But a trust store, it has the public key information. It doesn't contain any private key, and it has all the certificate related information. So we have three things, right? Private key, public key, and certificate. Private key is nothing but key store. Remaining public key and certificate is nothing but trust. So you can remember in that way. Okay, see, and one more thing, we are going to actually generate this key store and trust store for our practice purpose, but the certificates which we are going to generate, that is not the valid. Why? Because those certificates are not generated by the certification authorities to identify our server, right? So these are all called self-signed certificates. The certificates are private keys, public keys, key store, trust store, which we are going to generate in our demo purpose or in our practice purpose. Those are not valid. What I meant was, in real-time project, once you assign to any real-time project, or if you are working for any other company, you are not going to generate all these keys by your own for sure, because this is in our system. So we cannot generate all the keys, key stores, anything. We cannot generate anything, because those are related to the project. Those should be valid, and those should be in secured way, and those should be valid from certification authorities. So real-time projects will have valid certificate, and you can get those information of a trust store, key store, and passwords and everything from your client or your project, from your project team. Okay, for our practice purpose, we are going to generate everything here, and we will do the configuration and all. Okay, so that is the main thing I would like to point out here. And trust store or key store, both are two different files.
which can be saved with the .jks or .v12. How to generate? We have a keytool command, Java keytool utility is there. So by using the keytool utility, we are having couple of commands to generate private key, public key, trust store, key store, everything we can generate by using command prompt. Okay, and one more thing here. See, any client, any server will have this set of information. So every client will have its private key, public key, and certificate. These are the three things first. Then client key store. Client key store is nothing but its private key. Client trust store. Client trust store means, you don't get confused. Client trust store means client should trust the servers. Means it has all the certification related information or public key information of the server, not the client. Client key store means its own private key. Client trust store means it should contain other parties' public key and certificate information, because trust store, in client trust store, it has a list of certificates and it has a list of public keys to which server it is going to communicate, which is valid. So that is why client trust store will contain server's public key and server certificate, not its own. It's vice versa here. So server have its own private key, its own public key, its own certificate, and server key store means its server own private key, and server trust store means not its own public certificate and all. Server trust store means it is having client public key and client certificate. Those both are having in server trust store. So take a screenshot of this slide for your understanding purpose. So don't get confused. Once you are habituated to practice all these things, then it will be very easy for you. But initially it might cause some confusion. But you can remember in easy way. In this client trust store means it should trust the another party, not its own. So you can remember in that way. ఓకే, ఇది ఇంకొక సర్వర్ని ట్రస్ట్ చేయాలి, అంతేగాని దీన్ని ఇది ఓన్గా నమ్మాల్సిన అవసరమే ఉంది. మన ఐడెంటిటీ మన దగ్గరే ఉంటుంది కదా. సో వీ నో నీడ్ టు ట్రస్ట్ అవర్ సెల్వ్స్. సో ఇట్ షుడ్ ట్రస్ట్ ద అదర్ పార్టీ. సో సర్వర్ ట్రస్ట్ స్టోర్ మీన్స్ సర్వర్ నీడ్ టు ట్రస్ట్ client, not the same server. So in that way you can just remember. Okay, so the key store, trust store, these are all the different commands to generate the private key, public key, and certificates, key store, and trust store. We will see all these commands one by one once we have started the which one the once we have started the demo, Microsoft demo. We can see all the commands one by one, and I will provide all the commands in description box or else in comment box of this video. Okay, so okay, now let's see what is one way SSL and what is two way SSL. Then we will come to this slide, because for one way SSL we need some key store, trust store. For two way SSL we need some key store and trust store. We don't need all the client and server information of all the keys. We no need for all the SSL. For one way SSL we need few things from this list. For two way SSL we need all the things from this list. Okay, we will discuss them one by one. We will see. Yeah, so what is one-way SSL? If you have learned that handshake process from our video, then this will be similar for you. It will be very easy for you. So the SSL handshake is nothing but similar for one-way SSL. See, first client requests some protected data from server by using HTTPS protocol. Then client initiates this SSL handshake process. Then what will happen? Server will send its public certificate to the client along with some sample message, for example hello. Okay, then client validates that certificate from the server, certificate of the server, because client has this trust store, right? See, here it will come. So client has the list of trust stores. Here it has all the server's certificate, server's public key. It will validate against that list first. Okay, so client validates the received certificate from the list of trust store it has, and then if it is valid, okay, then client will send some sample information to the server. Then server can create, then okay, let's see. Client sends the random byte string that enables both client and server to communicate or to compute a secret key to be used for encrypting, which means like we have already learnt in handshake process like that pre-master key, if you remember. So the pre-master process key process will happen here. So once the certificate is valid, client will send one sample message and the that pre-master secret key or shared secret key to the server. If server can able to decrypt that pre-master key with the server private key, then they can assume that it is securely they can communicate with one another. See, upon agreeing on the secret key, client and server communicate further for actual data transfer by the encrypting or decrypting the data using this symmetric key, that pre-master key. So this is the same as SSL handshake process. If you remember, if you learned that handshake process from our video, then this will be easy for you. This is the simple one. So the actual data is wrapped by encryption layer. Now let's see, for this one-way SSL, what are the key store trust store information required? See, as this is one-way SSL, which means server only needs to prove its identity. We no need to validate client trust store and client, I mean client certificate, client connection. We no need to validate anything. Only server need to be authenticated. We need to server need to prove its identity. So the server related information is the primary one. So we need server key store and client trust store. Why? Server key store means server private key. Client trust store means we already discussed. Client trust store has server's public key and server certificate. So finally we should have all the server related information. We need to validate this server related information in terms of one-way SSL. Okay. So now let's discuss two-way SSL. In two-way SSL, what remaining everything is same. Only the additional thing is client also need to be validated. Okay, see, client requests some protected data from HTTPS protocol. This initiates SSL handshake process. Server returns its public certificate to the client and say hello message. So client validates the server public certificate through the certificate authorities, and then server also validate the certificate public certificate through server authorities. So if a client and server both are valid, both are secured, both has proved their authentication or identification, then the handshake process will complete, and then the client and server will communicate, transfer the message with each other by using encrypting secret keys and all between them. This is remaining everything is same as the one-way SSL. Only thing is in one-way SSL, only server need to be authenticated or validated. In two-way SSL, both server and client both should be validated. So in the same case, come here. So here for two-way SSL, see, both server and client needs to prove their identities, and we need to validate both server and client. So that is why in two-way SSL we need all the four information here, like all the for client and server for both entities. We need to have key store and trust store. We need server key store, which means server private key. We need client trust store, which means server's public key and certificate. We need client key store, which is client private key, and we need server trust store. It means client's public key and client certificate. So we should have all these four details in order to execute the two-way SSL. And if we need to go for one-way SSL, we need only these two information. Okay, so remember these things. So we will create all these things in our MuleSoft application. Then we will see how to create one-way SSL and two-way SSL implementation to implement HTTPS service in MuleSoft. Okay, so and one thing, make sure you are going to do any financial transactions by using HTTPS websites only. Just remember from now onwards, don't use any credit card information or any passwords or any sensitive data. Don't send any data in HTTP websites. Just to verify that if you have the lock symbol for that website, in that way you can validate that it's HTTPS website. Then you are good to go. Thank you. Let's start MuleSoft demo. Thanks for watching our video. Please subscribe, share, and like our Clark Technologies. I hope these two videos helped you to understand all the basics in a detailed way. I hope this will be very useful for you in your day-to-day projects. So please stay tuned. We will have another one or two videos to demonstrate the actual practical one-way SSL and two-way SSL in MuleSoft. Okay, so please stay tuned. Thank you. Bye.